Claps. What's poppin', T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, SWV and Xscape, Queens of R&B, Season 1, Episode 3 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously or literally, meaning my jokes. So if that works for you, let's get into this review. But first, I want to remind you all that tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, my home tour video of my dining room, guest bedroom, and I think I might include some of the bathrooms in that video as well, will be going up. Can't wait for you guys to see what I've done to the house so far. In a few weeks from now, I'll have some more rooms from the house to show you guys. And this week, I'll be dropping confessional looks video reviews for the Xscape show, Baddies, Basketball Wives, and it's another show. So I can't wait to break down the fashions from these confessional looks from these shows, baby, because some of these folks, woo! Okay, but let's get into tonight's episode because it was another banger. Okay, so tonight's episode starts off with Tocha meeting with Taj at the National Museum of African American Music in Nashville. Mind you, she was just there talking to the people over at Motown about going solo. And her and Taj sit down, and Taj was like, it was very clear that something was wrong between you and your sister. Like, what's going on? And Tasha was like, I feel like she body shamed me. And Taj was like, I know y'all ain't fighting about no butt joke. She was like, no. It's more than that. She disrespected my mama too. Girl didn't disrespect y'all mama, but okay. Taj was like, it just seems like it's more than that though. And Tasha was like, nope, that's it. So Tasha tells her that she just left a meeting for a solo deal, and Taj is sitting there like, what'd you say? Like, huh? Like, this just is another thing that's going to hinder them doing this tour or this show together. And she's just looking like, this is pure madness that is going on with y'all group. Like, it's like y'all the 5 heartbeats. Like, what is going on? So then you see Coco meet up with her 2 best friends, Tamaya and LaTroy, and they seem like they're a good fun time. And LaTroy asks her, how are you? And she was like, I've been good. And I was like, why is he asking her, like, how are you? Like, he was like, how are you? And so we then find out from Coco in her confessional that in 2017, she was diagnosed with bipolar depression, and that, she would have manic episodes where one minute she'll be happy, the next minute she's sad and depressed. And, she didn't really want to take it seriously until she started having thoughts of harming somebody, like. And so that's when she went and got diagnosed and got on medication, and she's doing much better. But of course, she still struggles. And I'm happy that she got her help and was willing to discuss this with the world, because hopefully that can help somebody else realize that they too may have a problem. So LaTroy was like, girl, you got to enjoy this moment in life. You got to take life by the bull, by the horns, or whatever. And Tamaya was like, y'all are not young. And Coco was like, who not young? She was like, this meow still get wet. Like, I'm 21. I'm 52, but this meow is 21. And I was like, you better tell her. You better tell her, because I'm 41 and this cat, she growls. She growls. She don't go meow. She go raw. Baby, this cat right here is like a saber-toothed tiger, okay? Don't get it twisted, all right? I have somebody's son on his back. Don't play about me and mine. So then we had a showdown of tonight's episode. Tamika has Mama G over, honey, to talk about what happened the last time they was all together as a family. So Tamika has cooked her mom's favorite meal, some cabbage and salmon. Mama G come by, child, scooting up the driveway. And she's so dramatic. Tamika opened the door. She just standing there. And she was like, come on in, mama. And she was like, hi, Tamika. I'm like, girl, if you don't get somewhere, sit down. So they sit down with their plates and everything. And Mama G was like, so tell me what's going on between me, you, and Tasha. Before the girl can even get to speaking, the mama is sitting here cutting her off. And I'm like, it's obvious that you didn't come here to truly listen to her and hear what she has to say and what has been hurting her and bothering her and trying to fix it. You came here to listen, to respond, because you won't even allow her to get a word out edgewise before you get to it's like, let her speak. This is the problem. Like, geez. So Tamika was like, you always show favoritism. And Mama G was like, in what way? And Tamika says, you allow her to express herself. And baby, the mama goes into acting like she in one of Tyler Perry's stage plays, honey. Like she Medea's best friend. Baby, she had the script ready and ready to go. She had this prepared. She had been practicing in the mirror. So the mama was like, I allow her to express herself because she do not come at me in a disrespectful way. You wrong when you talk to me in that kind of way, okay? I am the fifth member. And I was like, what you mean you the fifth member? So they do a flashback to when they had got into it, and Tamika was telling her mama, like, you're not the fifth member, love. Like, I need for you to skedaddle and back on up. And so the mom was like, I am the fifth member. When I put that microphone in your hand when you was a little girl, I am the fifth member. When your daddy walked out on me and he didn't care whether you sink or swim, I am the fifth member. How about that? And it's like, girl, you are not Maya Angelou, and you are not reciting the poem, what is it, I'm a Woman, or whatever. Y'all know the poem I'm talking about. Like, I am the fifth member. It's like, girl, Eddie Kane Sr., you are not the fifth member, and you doing all this shaking with that Oprah Winfrey wig on. Girl, if you don't, girl, I just wanted to kick the mama. I really honestly wanted to, and poor Tamika just sitting there like a kid being scolded by her mama. It's not like this is a mama talking to her middle-aged daughter. Like literally sitting there scolding her like she's a child. And it's so sad because when Tamika is around her mom and her sister, it's kind of like she just deflates. I'll say when she's around her mom, it's like her whole body just shrinks into herself. It's like she just curls into herself. And when she's around Tasha, it's almost like she's just on defense mode, like ready, because she don't know what she's gonna get from her, from one moment to the next. And it's just truly sad. It really honestly is. And it's just like, mama, no, you're not the fifth member, love. No, you're not. This is not you. This is us. And that's the problem, that she continues to treat the situation like they're equals and like they're sisters. I told y'all she act like they are sisters. So then Tamika in her confession was like, I think a lot of her hurt came from her divorce. She was a housewife, and when they broke up, we had to struggle. I don't think she healed from that. I feel like I get beat up on because when my mom looks at me, she sees my dad. I'm a daddy's girl. We act just alike. And I was like, ding, 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 ding. I told y'all that was the reason why that lady treat her differently, because when she look at her, she see her daddy. And you want proof? Here's the audio of when I said it on my review. It's just trifling on so many levels. The mama is weird. She need counseling. I don't know what's up with this situation. I don't know if it's a situation where when her husband left the family, I don't know if she has taken that out on Tamika. Maybe Tamika looked like her father, remind her of her father. I don't know. It's weird the way she treats that girl. It's totally weird, bro. And I just feel so sorry for Tamika. Ooh, y'all. I told y'all. I knew that was the issue. That when she looks at Tamika, she see that daddy. And I was like, she probably feels some type of way because Tamika got a relationship with the father and didn't forsake him. And probably Tasha did. And she resents her. And this is her way of punishing her for having a relationship with her father, because she's still sitting over there mad 40 some years later that the man left her. Like, girl, if you ain't over that by now, that ain't got nothing to do with them kids. Nothing to do with them kids. You know how many mamas out there, man done left them or ain't in their life, in their kids' life? Like, girl, it was a horrible thing. But you got to get over it at some point and stop trying to hold that over your kid's head. That wasn't your children's fault. So the mama was like, I'm the silent member that keep you and Tasha together. And Tamika was like, no, mama, no. And the mama was like, that show you right, that tell you right and wrong. Somebody gotta tell you wrong. So Tamika was like, but I'm not always wrong, mama. And the mama told me, Tasha is crushed at you. She is crushed. You done talked about her husband. And Tamika was like, the only time I talk about him is when he inserts himself in my business. And the mama said, Tamika, if you can sleep at night, and she said, if I can sleep at night, he taking my money from me and my family. But if I can sleep at night, you must be drunk. So the mom was like, ain't nobody taking no money from you. It's just like, okay. And I'm starting to feel like you got a little bit of that money yourself. I'm starting to feel like they broke you off a little piece of that or something, because you steady defending them and acting like this girl is lying. So at this point, I feel like Tamika gonna have to show them receipts or something just to really debunk them lying and saying that this never happened. Even though the whole world believes her, we all believe Tamika. I mean, the writing is on the wall that the rest of them are lying and sticking up for each other. But in order to shut it all the way down, yeah, she gonna have to like just show the receipts and just be done with it. Just be done with it at this point, because that mama is something else, honey. She is a terror. She is a terror, honey. And she should not be let loose around Atlanta. Tamika was like, wow, as hard as you go for them, I wish you would go as hard for me. And it was so sad to hear her say that, because it was so much honesty and truth in that, and hurt, because it's obvious that she does not ride for Tamika like she does Tasha. It's just plain and simple. Like, it's there just front and center in your face. You can't deny it. You can't unsee it. But I was so proud of Tamika when she said, you know what, but I asked you to come here because you said I disrespected you, and I'm sorry for disrespecting you. And she looked at her, she paused and looked at her mama to let her know, like, I'm serious, and I hope that you accept that and, you know, allow that to enter you and for you to understand that I'm being serious right now. And then she said, but if you can't respect me as an adult and my feelings, I'm going to have to step back. And I said, yes, ma'am. Because that's what I was saying on my review last week. When people are in your life that are that toxic, whether they're your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your granny, your granddaddy, your uncle, your auntie, when you have people in your life that is constantly like tormenting you, bringing you down, bringing you sadness, anger, and all of that, those types of negative emotions, you have to cut them off. You have to, for your own well-being, for your own mental health, because sometimes family will be your worst enemy, and they will be, the people that stab you in the back the worst in life, your own family. And it literally is a situation with Tasha and Tamika where it's like, Tamika, like she could come or go. Like, it's like nobody cares. And it's so sad. And I'm so happy that she stood up for herself, because at some point, either you just going to allow people to treat you anyway and keep on accepting it and taking it, or you have to stand up for yourself and say enough is enough. And I was so proud of her that she did that. So the mama was like, what you mean? And Tamika was like, I've been getting beat up my whole life. And the mama was like, Tamika, look at me. And Tamika starts crying. And my heart just ached for her. And the mama was like, look at me. And grabbing her face. I'm like, that's the problem. You too dang on rough. Just rough for no reason. But you want to spew God and all of this every 5 seconds. And you ain't living a Christian lifestyle. What is wrong with you, lady? I know your wig is rough, but you don't have to be rough. doing that girl face like this. That's a grown woman with grandkids. Crazy. So the mom was like, look at me. I love you. If you feel like I've been less of a mom to you and more to Tasha, I'm sorry. I love you more than anything. And she hugs Tamika, and I'm not going to ever sit up here and say that the mama don't love Tamika, because I firmly believe that she does. But it's not a healthy love. It's not. And there's a difference. It's not healthy at all. It's not. And I don't believe just that one sitting is going to make their situation better. That's years and years of toxicity that has been embedded in that family. And it's not going to be healed or fixed in one dinner between them two. It really isn't. And it's so sad and unfortunate. So Taj visits Candy at Candy's crib, and Taj tells her that she ran into Tasha in Nashville. And Candy was like, what Tasha? And she was like, y'all Tasha. She said she was there with Motown shopping a record deal. And Candy is looking like, oh, really? Really? She was like, this is the past happening all over again. She did the same thing to us years ago, and history is repeating itself. So Taj was like, we'd love to have her there on tour, but the vision don't stop because she's not there. Why don't y'all come to our rehearsal next week so we can discuss this? And like I said, I feel like a statement needs to be made when it comes to that group, that you effed us over the first time. 20-some years later, you're doing it again. You're sneaky and you're lying about it. You're not showing up to shows, rehearsals, lying on your sister, lying on Candy, just being an overall terror and nightmare of a person. So since you're the cancer in this group, how about we just remove you permanently? How about that? To teach you a lesson. And hopefully your gospel career soars. You have the next I Believe I Can Fly. The next Yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But over here, it's just going to be the three of us, because let me tell you something. Ain't nobody stopped going to Xscape concerts because Tasha ain't there. People are still showing up. Shows are still being sold out. Performances are still great. Nothing is lacking without her. So how about you just stay over there and we do what we do, get this bag and this money and this notoriety and fame, and continue to do us, and you and Rocky and Bullwinkle, y'all continue to do what y'all do. And if, hopefully it don't fail, but if it does fail and then you try to come on back over here, sorry, Flash. No, kick her butt out the group permanently. Kick her out the group permanently, because she ain't learned her lesson. And God got to spank her. Spank her for her to get it, and to stop being so nasty and mean to people. That mistress that came out the woodworks this week on that butt, that got a baby allegedly by her husband. Oh, baby, that's just the beginning. See what happens when you do wrong to people and when you move wrong? You up here being sneaky, lying, getting solo deals behind people's backs, acting all hoity-toity, got a whole rock on your shoulder, you know what I'm saying? Acting like you don't want to be bothered, like you too good. And the show comes on, you decide to drop your debut gospel single the same weekend that the show airs, and you've got nothing but negative press, negative feedback over the last 3 weeks. The audience does not like you, does not want to support you. Your sister has exposed you. The mistress and came out allegedly putting y'all on blast. Like, you've had the worst last couple of weeks ever. And I know that Motown is looking like this is not what we expected. Because, the saying is all publicity is good publicity, but not when you're promoting a gospel album and you're on national television being accused of theft. You're on national television being biznai, okay? You're on national television treating your sister like crap, being controlled allegedly by your husband, a mistress that came out the woodworks. Like, your whole life is in shambles, love. God don't bless no mess. How many times gotta tell you that? And your karma come back on you in ways and at times that you never expect. Remember that. So, where was I at in my notes, child? Because Tasha ain't gonna worry me. So, Lily and her son, Kyrie, go and have wings and drinks and stuff together. And Lily tells her son that she is working on an audio book called Sister Hot Meow. It's gonna be an erotic audio book, and she feels like there's a lane for it, and I want Lily to win. I was always a fan of Lily. She was my favorite in the group when I was a little girl. I just thought that she was the prettiest thing ever. And, you know, as a kid, you just see, you know, singers and athletes on television. You just think their life is made and they're living in a lap of luxury. And you just never know what people have gone through behind closed doors. And never would I have thought that her life would have been the way it was before the group. And then after the group, all the struggles that she had to go through. You know, she let us know that after the group broke up, she didn't have any money coming in. At some point, she was sleeping in her car, and she would ride around until, you know, daylight, because she didn't want anybody, you know, to try to, you know, rob her or, you know, sexually assault her any type of way. And she would literally sleep, I think she said, at Yankee Stadium once daylight came. Like, that's so sad. But, you know, she said that, you know, she got up and did what she had to do for herself. She went back to school. She started working a little job. And, you know, eventually the group got back together. And I just pray that, you know, everybody's being smart about their money and savings. Because even with myself, I'm 41 years old. I've been self-employed my whole life. I've never worked for anybody else, literally, really. So, you know, I gotta, you know, make sure my future is secure and that I have money saved up, because I live a really nice life and I want to continue to live that way in my old age. So, you know, I'm just so happy that everything worked out for their group. Tasha is at the studio, child, working on some song. The song actually sounded good. I'm not gonna hate on that. The song actually was a bop. Here come Rocky, acting like he Ike Turner. I was like, child, I know he regret that now, because he has so been compared to Ike. So they sit down and she tells him that Candy reached out about meeting with SWV, and he was like, are you gonna go? And she was like, I don't know. And she still hasn't told the girls about this album. So Coco was at the crib with her son, Jalen, and he's on social media promoting his new single. He's singing a cappella. He got a nice voice. You could tell he was nervous. He got a voice like his mama. He looked just like his mama. Got nails just like his mama. He is Coco in boy form. So they sit down and he tells her that he don't want to go back to school. Now, he was going to school for dentistry. That was the plan, but he don't want to. He want to focus on singing. And Coco was like, absolutely not. I done paid this money. You're going to go. And the record industry and entertainment industry is not, you know, a given. It may work, it may not, and 9 times out of 10, it probably won't. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of amazing singers out here that never get the opportunity or the chance that they, you know, have worked for. And I agree, as a mom, I would most definitely support him with following his dreams, but you do need a backup plan. So figure out a way to do both. Get your degree and go from there. So Coco was like, you know, there are not a lot of black dentists. And he was like, I get that, but I'm not going to sacrifice my happiness to make everyone around me happy. And I get that as well. But as long as you living under this roof, you going to do what I tell you to do, unless you going to move out. Or you going to get to paying bills up in here and being my roommate. How about that? Okay, when I'm paying for your lifestyle and you just sit up here and ask me for a Balenciaga bag. Make it make sense, love. So Jalen, Coco was like, you know, you're going to have to tell your grandmama then. So they call, and Jalen was just like, you know, school is not really my thing. And the granny was like, you're not old enough to know what your thing is. So Jalen starts to cry and says the same thing he says to his mom, to his grandmama. And of course they cave. I would have caved too, because I'm a wuss when it come to Kyrie's. And he was like, how about I take a year off and see where I go from there? And they all agree to do that, which I think is a compromise. I do. I think it's a compromise, but I do agree that he needs a backup plan and have something set and secure over to the side. So at the end of the episode, SWV is at rehearsals and they are talking to their management and they're told that they're going to have to come up with some type of agreement with Xscape that day about whether or not they're going to do this show or tour, because SWV has tour opportunities for the next year already lined up that needs to be booked. So they booked and busy, ready to go. Okay. So the meeting begins and Tocha shows up. Tocha showed up, honey. Showed up looking like the black virgin. What's that lady that go? What's that lady? What is that little Puerto Rican lady with the GD hairstyle that be like, yeah. She showed up looking like her. I'm like, child, why you sitting over there worried about a solo deal and worrying about lying on your sister, lying on Candy? Please get a new stylist and a new makeup artist and a new hairstylist, because they be having you out here looking like your name is Shanae or Shaniqua. Be looking a mess, looking like you came from the 3rd Ward. Shout out to my New Orleans folks. Baby. So the meeting begins and Taj was like, what about one epic night with all of us? One night only. We show up, show out, and we're done. She was like, everybody put your hands in. Everybody puts their hands in except for Eeyore. Except for her. And they like, girl, come on. So she eventually puts her hand in. And so here go Candy talking about some, how is this going to go when it comes to billing? And the manager was like, I think should be a co-headlining tour. And that's what I would think that they would do. And Candy was like, I get what you're saying, but our group, we still feel like we still want to have top billing on our tour. And it's like, come on now with the egos and all of that. Like, just be equal and be done with it. Be done with it. Like, stop. Both of y'all groups are on equal footing. Stop. If y'all want to make this happen, put your egos to the side and co-headline. That makes the most sense. Nobody's feelings getting hurt. Nobody's, putting their group above the other. Just co-headline and be done. And so Taj was offended. She was like, your group? And Candy was like, any tour that we're on, like, we co-headline. And Coco was like, well, we gonna pass. And Taj was like, well, with this show, we should co-headline. And Coco in her confessional was like, girl, do you know who you talking to? We've sold how many records compared to your 7 million? Girl, bye. Now, I think come on now. Didn't Xscape sell more than 7 million records? I got to Google it. I got to look it up. Ooh. So Candy was like, this is no disrespect to y'all. We love y'all. But we have been headlining our tour since we got back together. Tiny in her confessional was like, we have more of a fan base with me and Candy being on television. And it's, you don't know what you got. SWV is SWV and Xscape is Xscape. Like, once again, y'all are on equal footing. Y'all can sell out a show. They can sell out a show. The only thing is that y'all on TV right now, well, Tiny wasn't, but they aren't. But we're not going to act like they didn't have hit reality shows themselves. They had 2. So we're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just semantics and stupid. So Tiny was like, it's the business side that she talking about. So Taj was like, so you want to get paid more than us? And in a roundabout way, that's what Candy was low-key trying to say. Because whoever does have top billing gets paid more. So Candy was talking about the flyers and how the name should go and just talking crazy. And Taj was like, so it could be a co-headlining tour, but you want your name to be bigger? And once again, when your name is bigger, you're the main attraction and you'll get more money. She just didn't want to come out and say that. So Lily was like, I got to go to the bathroom. And Coco was like, yeah, because I'm ready to go. And Lily was like, I can't take another second of this stupid. Yeah. And Coco was like, I ain't opening up for nobody. I done sold 30 million records. You got me messed up. And Tiny was like, well, that went left. I guess because it didn't come out the proper way. And it didn't. And it was just like, can we get past one hurdle before we introduce another? And Taj in her confession was like, we laid down the groundwork for you all to come out, like basically show some respect. But once again, I feel like they both should headline a tour, and that and in this part, Xscape in general are tripping and need to get somewhere and sit down. That's my opinion. What y'all think? Y'all think they should co-headline, or you think that SWV should be the headliners and Xscape should be the headliners? What did y'all think about Tamika sit down with her mom? Child, this show, woo! Yeah, they gonna need a second season. Just with Xscape. Like, cause baby, they are a hit show all in themselves. Let's talk down below in the comment section. Overall, I'm gonna give tonight's episode an A. It was great. It was great because I'm the 5th member. I'm the 5th member, child. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. You guys, I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.